Hello. Welcome to my first ever stream of tournament poker. So, as you might know, I normally stream cash games on this channel, but today I just felt like wanting to stream some different kind of action, some tournaments. So, I am currently in a $10 deep stack turbo, and I have also already registered for a $25 deep stack non-turbo, so a normal regular tournament, and if I fancy it I might play the $50 progressive knockout tournament, which starts in about 15-17 minutes or so. So let's go. We have around 200 big blinds. This is a stack depth that, as a cash player, I'm fairly familiar with. Let's see, we have pocket jacks now in the small blind. I'm not entirely sure on the sizings here for tournaments, but with the ante and with him making it two big blinds on the button, I think I can raise this one to around 11 big blinds. We get a call. We have a king there, and because we're very deep, I will opt not to range bet this board. Also, we don't have the jack of clubs, which is not amazing, so let's just start with a check. We're super deep. Okay, this doesn't make it any better for me. The ace pretty bad, so yeah, just checking once again. And he now bets half pot. And I think at this point I just have to fold. Like, he can have a lot of hands, of course he can be bluffing, but he would have to turn something like Queen 10 or so into a bluff. I even block Queen Jack, Jack 10, and so on. I think this is just bad. I just have to fold. Don't get married to your jacks. I actually just made a video about pocket jacks on my other channel, on the live poker guide channel, where I am talking about what mistakes not to make with your jacks. So check that one out if you fancy it. I thought it was quite an interesting topic. Got lots of comments about that as well, because I know that a lot of players hate playing jacks. And the interesting thing with jacks is that a lot of people kind of subconsciously think that they're as good as kings or even aces, but they're really far off that. So, and I showed the numbers in that as well. So check out that video. It's called something like Avoid These Mistakes with Pocket Jacks or so. It's the newest video on my channel, Live Poker Guide. Okay, we have Jack Deuce off in the cutoff, so this is just a fold. Let's see, I'm gonna put up the information about this tournament so that you can see the winner gets $250. That would be a nice boost to the bankroll. At the moment we are 16 players and I am only 14th. I don't know why, but I think we're basically all pretty close together. As you can see over here, we have the stack sizes. So I got 19,300. Yeah, because I lost that pot with the jacks. That's why I dropped under the starting stack of 20,000. But as you can see, I'm playing here with, or I have the big blinds here rather than the stack sizes, especially for tournaments. I find this so much more helpful. So this is the one hack that I can recommend to anyone. Just do that when you're playing. Just make it big blinds rather than numbers. As I say, in tournaments where the blinds change all the time, this is definitely important. Right, king 5 off in the big blind, definitely a fold. Okay, so as you can probably hear, my voice is not the best. I have been trying to be okay to speak, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. I have been ill for a couple of days, and so that's why yesterday, for example, I couldn't do anything, and today I am going to try to stream here for a while. I might become a bit more quiet than normal, although probably doesn't sound it yet. Okay, ace jack off in a tournament setting. I think I can just call with that for a 2 big blind raise. I think it wouldn't be much wrong with 3-betting this, but that's fine. We have top pair, decent kicker. Definitely no reason to donk bet. This is not a board that's favorable for my range. Okay, he bets half pot. Think nothing else for me to do than to call. It's not good enough to raise. Okay, the queen. I mean, if he range bet that board with something like pocket queens, then it's not good. If he had ace queen, then he's ahead anyway. Definitely have to call here again, even though he has sized up. Nothing else to do than to call. And the king also not amazing, but then again, ace king and ace queen were there, and I doubt that he has jack 10. Also, I block jack 10. So it's not as terrible for me as it looks like, but he does triple barrel this one, and okay, I don't know much about these, so this player, so what am I getting? Better than 2 to 1, so I don't have to be good here very often. I am going to call because I just don't know this player pool for the 10 dollar buy-in, so I am gonna call because I have the best ace, but yeah, okay, he has ace jack as well. It's quite punchy of him to go for a triple barrel there. It's quite thin to go for a triple barrel with ace jack, but at least he didn't make it too big. Okay, now we can raise 4-3 suited with the ante there. I think that is fine. And our next tournament is starting very soon. That is the $25 deep stack one, and this is not a turbo, unlike the $10 one. Okay, we get called, and this is a range bet board. And because we are quite deep, I'm gonna go a third rather than a quarter. And we are off to this tournament as well here. So he called, and I really don't have anything going for me here, but I can still go quite big, I think. Let's make this 11 big blinds. This is the only way I can win this. I will give up if I get called. Not going to triple barrel this one, and this is it. Although, should I triple barrel? I mean, I can never get him off an ace, but I can get him off any spade. So I could go... I am actually going to triple barrel this one. And I'm not going to go too huge because... Oh, what did I do? I just accidentally... I timed out there. Okay, that wasn't very clever. Okay, king 3, just going to call. So, going to c-bet, and that's it. And here we're not going to call on the right. Okay, so I have to be careful. I don't seem to have a lot of time for my actions, so I might time out. And now with 2 tables, I really have to be careful. Okay, I would have raised this, but because the cutoff raises, I will just fold my ace-8 on the button. That's a funny name here. Lee Harvey Ostwald, maybe? I don't know. Right, so here on the right table, we have a limp. It's interesting. We have a tiny raise, and I think we can isolate this player. Let's make it 7.5, quite big. We're very deep, and then there's the extra money from the limper in here. Although I do expect this to go multi-way. So we're going 3 ways to it. Okay, so here I am going to range bet this one, and if no one has a queen, okay, so this guy called very, very quickly. He called my 3-bet as well. Okay, the other queen, that's quite good. So we'll lose to jacks and tens, but he could also have 8, 7, 6s and so on. I am going to go just small once again. This is just under third pot. And we get called, and now if he checks, I can just check behind and hopefully win against a smaller pocket pair. Oh, he had a queen. He had quads there. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I was never trying to get quads to fold, so this was not a bluff. I was trying to extract some value, but interesting. So he called a 3-bet with queen jack, and then you can see, I mean, this is the thing, like, he had quads there, and he played them super, super, super passively. And that's just not great to do. Like, when I made it so small on that turn, he has to check raise there, because I'm unlikely to bluff that river. Okay, here on the left we can just call with ace-5 off. And he just won the minimum there against my full house. And yes, I didn't have a great full house, but I could have had aces or kings there when I 3-bet especially. So he has to go for some check raise. But no, he did not do that, and so that was what happened. Right, here we have a fairly big bet. I'm just going to fold this one. Okay, here on the right, the blinds are going up. On the left, we have a 7 deuce suited. On the right, we have 8-3 suited. Great. And against this tiny bet, definitely calling with a suited hand in the big blind. We have bottom pair. We're getting a raise. We could check. We could call. We could raise. I am going to elect to raise this one up. Ah, and here I folded my a7 on the button, which is very annoying. Okay, so he did call, and because of that, we are going to check now. This has been enough. And he checks again, and at this point, I'm not loving it. Right here, I'm going to raise. I am just going to check again. And he did have the queen there. Okay, well, not been running amazing so far. And speaking of not running amazing, this is absolutely not ideal. Ace, king, 5. I'm going to start with a check. Like, yes, I could potentially fold out a better hand, but not many. And this is just like really annoying and silly now. There is not much I can do. Here on the right, I'm just going to call with my pocket 5s. And here I've auto-folded, but I would have folded anyway, because on that board, don't want to bluff catch. This guy now makes it 16 big blinds, and I can't call that, sadly. If the original raiser had called, then yes. Yeah, I'm a bit rusty with tournaments, I must admit, but we are okay. We can learn. If you guys notice something that I'm doing well or not so well, please let me know. But at this point, I'm just trying to play common sense poker. And I would hope to run a bit better, but that's not been the case so far. Okay, Jack 6 off against a 4 big blind raise is definitely a fold. 7-8 is not a great one. This is one that I will put in my check call range. I mean, it's even that against the 4 big blind raise, it's actually not great. I'm gonna fold. This guy I know is quite aggressive. I've seen that. Not good to have him to my left, but it's just good to know. And if I have a good hand or one even that I could check raise as a bluff, I will play the same later. So that's not like a wasted small blind that I paid there to complete my small blind. That's the thing. Like, I feel like in small stakes, this happens quite a lot. That players think like if you limp, a lot of players might think that you're just super weak there because usually good players don't limp. But in the small blind, I definitely play with a limping strategy, especially in tournaments, but even in cash games, especially when there are antes, that is something that's worth doing. Right, I now have to decide whether I want to play the 50. Where are we here? We are somewhere no in 7 minutes. This one here, the 50 PKO. I think I'm just not gonna play it because I have 2 tournaments up now, and if I have two tournaments up, I don't want to have a third one going on because already I'm timing out. Right, so there is a raise there, and king 10 off I could call, but I will fold because I really want to concentrate on my pocket kings here on the left, where there is a raise. And a call, that is excellent. So now we can just go to something like 14 big blinds. Let's see if we're luckier with the kings than we were with the jacks. Ace 4 off on the right table is definitely an open on the button. Okay, this guy just shoves on us, so that is an easy call with kings, and he has jacks. That's fine. We hold. Yes. That is great. Okay, here I am going to go for a range bet. We have the 4 of spades, even though, I mean, it's not amazing, but we do get the fold. That's all we wanted. Right, now we have king, queen. This is a hand that we can call with in the small blind. Normally I would 3-bet it, but we are quite deep. We're out of position. We have an unsuited hand. I don't want that, so that's why we call, and we flop the open-ender on a paired board. And let's see, I'm gonna check here, I'm gonna call here. And this guy raises, this guy doesn't do anything, so we can bet. We are definitely calling here with our open-ender. And this now means that we're out. This is a terrible board. 2 tens, 2 jacks, any 10, any jack beats us. Not only that, but we're drawing dead against that hand. So absolutely folding, especially to such a big bet. Don't know why he would bet so big there, and this guy now just jams. Okay, so this time the guy did not raise us here on the right. We're just going with a small bet. Now we have picked up more equity. We can't get him to fold any jack or any 8 or any other pair. So I am definitely going to just call. And this is not an amazing river. And we win. That is good. Okay, so running better now. Can't complain after winning the all-in with kings against jacks. And also here now, we finally managed to win a pot against this guy called Carther. Is that right how I pronounce it? 5-4 suited, I am going to fold. Like in the cutoff I would have opened it, but hijack, I think it's better to fold. Jack 3 off in the big blind. Right, let me just see the information on this one. Oops, wrong tab. And we can definitely check this. And not great, we are going to bet it. Marco der Barbar sounds German. He check raises us, and when he does that, we're obviously folding. Just tried to steal it. Right, so here 31 players registered. I'm third on this one. That is pretty good. Here I want to open this up as well. And we are now again small blind versus big blind, starting with a here we can raise queen nine suited. Starting with a limp again, the small blind, he checks. And now I'm going to go for a check. I think because he's so aggressive, I will let him put some money into the pot rather than me c-betting this one. Okay, he doesn't go for the bait, but I am still checking. Okay, so we are only 10 players in this tournament and I am lost. And look at this, I now got quads. I mean, how am I going to make some money here in this limp pot with quads? And I think I win this one. Right, so I'm still lost, which is surprising, but hey, okay, that's very conservative play there. So only 10 players in this tournament. But that's the beauty on Coinpoker, that there aren't that many players, and yes, that means that you can't win that much, but it also means that the tournaments won't take ages. So even this deep stack tournament here is fine because I will not play forever. So just showing the info down here. Ace 3 suited. Let's just raise this one. Here Ace 9 wins against Ace 10. Well, we are getting 3-bet by this player, who I would definitely not choose to have on my left if I could choose. But unfortunately now with everyone folding, I am going to fold the Ace 3 for sure. Pocket Kings is more interesting here on the left anyway. Let's see if someone would like to give us action. Yes, there is someone. And he is definitely one where I will go quite big. Here I'm gonna call, here I'm gonna raise to 27. And we are quite deep, I know that. Well, there is the dreaded ace. the dreaded ace, and here I'm going to call, here I am going to check on the left, and here on the right I am now going to bet. He bets, definitely have to call here, especially when he bets so small. And on the river we shall see. Okay, here on the right I will have to check now, don't have the right blockers. He jams, which I don't love, when now my pocket kings are nothing but a bluff catcher, and I fold anyway, not by choice, although I would have found this fold eventually, probably, but I would have given it a little bit more thought. We are just timing out very quickly, so I had to fold my queens there, my kings there, so that's okay. So now I'm 11th, and here I'm still 10th out of 10. Right, ace, deuce off, don't want to get involved in a multi-way pot. It's very similar boards here. 8, 8, 9, 10, 6, 7, 8, 8. Well, this would have been a much better board from my kings earlier. Yeah, so we still have late registration for this one going on for quite a while on the right. That is for another hour and 23 minutes. And on the left one for another hour, so there's still a lot. So I might rebuy for one of them potentially. Okay, he calls us, so we are going to go for a fairly, I'm going to start with a range bet on King Jack 5. Here I'm definitely going to call. Here I am going to now size up, go something like 9 big blinds. And he folds. You see, that's quite big. I have third pair. I'm just going to fold. I don't know if the big bet, I think probably the big C bet is weak rather than strong. Earlier, when he made that really big bet, if you were watching, the board was 10-10, Jack-Jack. He bet really big, then got jammed on and he snap folded. So I kind of think that it means that when he bets big, it's more likely that he's weak rather than strong. Here on the right, I have to fold my ace-8 to the 3-bet, especially from this rather passive player. And the blinds are going up. Okay, Queen 7's another one that I will limp if it folds to me. And I think now he should know that I limped ace 9 as well, so he can't just raise me whenever he likes. Here I am going to c-bet my top pair, just mixing it up. But now I will check, because I do not have a great kicker, I only have top pair. On a board where straight's possible, two pair are definitely possible, especially in a limp pot. You could even have 9-3. Okay, he goes for the 3 big blinds. I've barely filtered his range with my tiny bet on the flop, so definitely calling. And this is not amazing now. Any king now beats me, any 8 beats me. But he also has lots of bluffs. He goes for 7 into 10. I mean, yes, he could definitely have a hand that beats me, but I think I want to call here, and he does have the 8 there. So he got lucky with a gut shot. He didn't really have anything, but then got lucky, and we paid him off. But I do think that he might bluff that river if he misses. So that is okay. So I just had to close my microphone for a moment because I got a cough. So as I said, if you missed that earlier, unfortunately I have a cough and a bit of a rough voice. So I'm just hoping to be able to talk properly here. But let's see. Right, so tournaments are mostly about playing good short stack poker, so I hope we'll get to that, but I might re-register later if I happen to bust early. But we shall see. Okay, 5-6 suited in the big blind. Could be interesting. And there's a min raise. Calling. In cash games, I know this could be a 3-bet as well. But here it's more of a call. Okay, he now checked, so I am going to overbet this one. He snaps me off. And now that I've gained some showdown value, although not much, because I don't think he just called snap me off with ace high, but maybe he had a draw himself. Okay, he had the 10 there, so he just happened to hit the turn. Otherwise, maybe he would have just folded, but that was a snap call then. So again, getting a little unlucky with the run out. King 5, okay, so this seems to be the drill of the day here, that we're playing against this guy, just continuously limping. He raises us to 4. This is one that I will let go. But I will continue playing my limping strategy against this guy, even if I have a good hand. So that is okay. On the right, we have gained one more player. So we've got 11 players now, and we are still lost. But we still have 56 big blinds, so it's fine. So 13 minutes, and then we'll have the break. Which is very unusual for me, because as a cash game player, I normally don't have to deal with forced breaks. Well, let's see if we can get some overlay here on the right, though we do have 12 players now. But there is $1,000 guaranteed, so we would need to get, what is that, for $23? Ice 5 off, I'm just gonna fold. It might be just about a call there, but can't be very profitable, so I elect to fold. Yeah, so what's that? 23, that's times 40, that would get us to 920. And then for 80, that's another 3 something. So we need about 43, 44 players to get the guarantee. It's 13 so far, 1 busted. So we still have 1 hour and 14 minutes to get these players, so we need another 30 players. Yeah, let's see. Might be some overlay alarm. King 5 suited. We'll open it if we get the chance. We do get the chance. Unfortunately, we also get 3-bet, and this is not a hand I want to call with, even though I have position. Okay, 9s. It's a nice look. Let's try again. And here on the right, Queen 7, I'm gonna fold even to a min click. Getting a call here on the left. And again an ace and a king. That's not amazing. We are gonna go with a range bet in this case. But I'm not actually sure. Actually, I think in the tournament structure, especially range bet isn't even great there. So he does raise us, and this was actually a mistake. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold. This was a mistake because he is quite strong, at least in theory, when he calls there. So I would have to start with a check, even if I have a good ace there. So if anything, it's a range check rather than a range bet. Okay, here on the right I went a bit too big because I didn't realize that I am so short. Okay, here I am gonna go with a range bet even though we're up against 2 players. But if the small blind folds, then yeah, it does. And now if he doesn't have an ace, I would hope that he folds, and if he calls without having an ace, we still have a chance. The thing is now he raises here. And against that raise, I don't want to, because I'm just have to put in a big chunk of my stack. On the left, I also have to fold. So it's tricky to play when you have a 40 big blind stack. Like if I had raised there, if I don't want to shove, I'd have to make it like 16 or so. So I think Carther is a good player from what I can see. He's quite aggressive, and it's a shame that I have him to my left. There's not that much I can do. In a cash game, I could just leave the table, request a sea change if possible. In a tournament, you can't do absolutely anything. Okay, ace 8 suited again here on the right. Going to go a little smaller now. On the left, my ace 10 off. I could call, I could... Okay, now I want to raise this one. And here I'm going to check. He now bets. I did not filter his range. I am calling here with my ace high. Okay, we get a call here on the left. So definitely starting with range bet, and I am gonna fold now when he overbet donks this river. He could have a missed flush draw, but still. Okay, here on the left, I am gonna go because it's unlikely that he has as a king, and to my triple barrel, even though I don't cover him, he might fold. Because I definitely have all the ace kings, I have aces, I have kings, yes, so he just folds politely, that is very good. So yeah, you have to use these occasions, like if he had called there, I would have jammed the river. And if he calls my triple barrel there with a bluff catcher, which he probably would have if he did that, then so be it. You have to just give up. Right, this is very close. 8-6 off. I'm just gonna fold it, but I think for such a small raise with the antes, it is not terrible to call. Obviously, in a cash game, it would be terrible. Would never advise doing that. And now we are running quite low here on the right, just 27 big blinds. Couldn't get anything going in this game. And here we are going to start with a raise. So this is kind of like the middle of the range thing that I'm happy to raise. Now normally I would bet here, but I'm not going to bet because I have second pair. So I think if you want to check something, this is what you want to check. The ace could be, I mean, I'm going to check again. No reason to bet this one. And this other ace makes me feel good. I don't think I can get him to, although I can go with a small bet, and maybe he has a king high, or he has a deuce, or pocket fives or so, and now he's raising me here, and we haven't filtered his range at all, and I am going to call this one. I know it's quite small. We have a 9, and if yeah, he did nothing. He did that with 7 high, so that is fine. We induced a bluff there, and we called it off. So that is good to see. So yeah, you guys, let me know in the comments, have you ever played a tournament on Coinpoker? These are genuinely my first tournaments that I'm playing. And it's a $10 and a $25, both deep stacked. And just trying to find out what they're like. Also, I'm going to make a video about tournaments on Coinpoker. This is also a reason why I'm playing them now, because as I said, I haven't played them yet, or hadn't played them yet before today, so I don't really know much about them. So if you have any info about tournaments that you would like to share, please do so in the comments below. And also, you know, my offer 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 if you sign up to Coinpoker. Just click the link in the description below. Sorry that I am having to clear my throat sometimes. As I said, I have been a bit under the weather of late, and today trying to get back into streaming. And hopefully cashing in these tournaments, although especially on the one on the right is not looking very good. I am 16th out of, well, 16 players. It says 17 players, but that's because one busted. So out of the 16 players that are still in the tournament, I am lost. And I think by quite a margin. Actually, yeah, I have 11,000. There are players with 13, 15, 17. But nothing lost. Ooh, this is a good one. Ace, queen off. In tournament poker, I've seen a lot of things. A lot can happen. Okay, go into the flop. Okay, I have learned from it. I am not going to c-bet this one now. He checks as well. And at this point, I am going to bet. And now I am going to bet again. 2/3. And sadly, he folds. Okay, 5-6 off in the big blind. I don't want to play in a... Okay, here on the right he makes a 3.5. Just gonna fold it despite having position. Well, I would have had a pretty good flop for my hand, but with a 5-6 off here, but in a multi-way pot I did not want to get involved. So that's okay. And we are off to the break now. I'm going to take a tiny break as well. I'll be back soon though, and then we shall continue with our stream. So stay tuned, it'll be about 5 minutes, and then we'll continue. Okay, so I am back. Let's see. Is there anything we would like to play anytime soon? So we could play it. Well, this is still quite far. Let's see. $10 turbo we can play in 5 minutes. And a $25 classic is also available in 5 minutes. Oh, we are back. Okay, let's try the $10 turbo. Because yes, I do want to play some smaller stakes. I will play some bigger ones at some point as well, but for now I'm happy to stream mainly smaller ones. 9-7 suited in the big blind, and how does he get so many seconds here? Time bank when I timed out a couple of times earlier. And I'm gonna fold to a 3 big blind raise. It's interesting. A flop wine, check, check, I think, and then bet and raise on the turn, and now check, bet, fold. Unfortunately, we didn't get a showdown there. I have to fold both of these hands. So here we had bet 2, then small blind calls, big blind 3 bets, 4 blind, 4 blind, button 4 bets, and big blind 5 bet jams. And now there's a call, and it's ace queen versus ace 10. Wow, that's quite punchy, and ace 10 wins it. So unlucky there. Okay, and our third tournament starts. That is the $10 turbo. Let's see if we can make it to something. So, and look, I'm on this one, I'm not lost anymore. So there are 21 players left, and I'm 18th now. Well, if that isn't good news. So I'm just going to rearrange this very quickly. Sorry. And something like this. Ooh, and here we got an all-in and a call. Ace 5 versus 9s. The 9s hold. And I think the guy got eliminated. And here on the right we have ace 4 suited. Which we will call if the small blind doesn't raise. He does not, so happy to call. Not exactly the flop I would have hoped for. He bet small, could go either way. I think this will be more of a range bet. And so I am going to raise this one to 6. Here, ace 5 on bottom, I'm just gonna fold. Okay, we are picking up some equity, which is great, but I think I can now just check. And because he checks, I think I am going to check again. Oh, he had the jack, so he had the spade. Then once again, I mean, so many times today that I get called by worse, and then somehow they get there. And again here, he had the spade draw. Okay, so he did have a decent draw, but then he just turned the jack there, and I thought I would have some showdown value, but I didn't in the end because he got there. Right, here on the left, I am going to... Oh, sorry, I need to concentrate here. I'm going to fold. Like, he bets, he calls, someone might have a king, someone might have nines, or even a set. So we have queen 10 at the bottom. Fortunately, we didn't get to see a showdown. And here, just to see this guy who I said Carther, who was well, here we have to fold our queen 10 off. Against a 3-bet. Yeah, so this Carther guy where I said that he seemed like quite a good player, very aggressive. He is the chip leader now in the tournament. So I was a bit unlucky to have him just to my left, and also didn't run super well against him. Here's 6 deuce off. I have to fold, even though I will tell you something about 6 deuce off. When I played the main event in the WSOP in Vegas, $10,000 buy-in, it was in 2019, my once in a lifetime big tournament. And I had 6 deuce offsuit, and I in the big blind, and I had learned that, well, yeah, in tournaments you have to defend very wide. So there I was defending 6 deuce off in the big blind against raise by the cutoff, I think, or no, the button, I think it was. Here 10-4, it's so bad that I'm just gonna fold it. And yeah, I flopped a gut shot, so I went for a check raise on the flop. Then I turned the gut shot, I turned the straight, and I went for a double check raise. He called both times, and then I shoved the river, and he called me. I don't know what he had, but I was good there. Right here, I'm gonna call, and on bottom I'm gonna fold, and unfortunately this ace really isn't great for me. And he bets again, he bets quite big, he would do that, but I still have some outs here if he has a big hand. And now I am going to check, so now there is not much that I can beat except like complete bluff. But what would that be? King 9 or so? And he had ace king. Well, okay, I was ahead on the flop. Then again he got there. So like turns and rivers today have not been very good to me. 10 deuce. No, queen deuce, sorry. I have to fold this one. Here I can raise 10-9 suited in the cutoff. And we get folds all around, which is great news. Okay, a6 off is... I am gonna go for... No, I'm gonna fold it, because in position it would be a bit different. Out of position, I still prefer to have a bit more playability, but in position this is the kind of hand that at this stack depth you can go for a 3-bet. Just checking here. 36, 7 players, still 22 minutes to late reg. Check 8, we can raise. And I think I could probably start going slightly smaller with my raise sizes. Even at the button, I could get away with 2.25 rather than 2.5 big blinds. Seven deuce off in the big blind. That's just what I wanted. And we have a limper. Okay, ace 4 suited. There's a raise, and because it's an early position raise, I will just fold this. Here I'll check my 7 deuce. And I won't even pretend to have anything here. Although now I can pretend to have something. I'm gonna go for the third pot bet, and we take it down with 7 deuce off. Yay! Call the police. 10-7 suited in the small blind. In a tournament, maybe it's kind of a call, but I don't even think so. Here we have a raise on the bottom left. We have the ace jack in the big blind. There is a call. And another call. Yeah, this is tricky now. I don't really want to call. I don't really want to 3-bet either. But don't want to fold either. So let's just go for the 14 big blinds and hope that we get folds there. We have the ace blocker, jack's blocker, although the jack is not that important, but still. Speaking of jacks, here at the top, jacks against sixes, all in. Jacks hold. Okay, and this guy here jammed on our ace jack, so I know that it's probably not good. And with ace jack, sadly no action whatsoever. Okay, here king queen could go either way. I'm going to call. That's the beauty of tournaments. You can call a bit wider because there are antes in play, and there is no rake that you have to pay. But 4 ways to a flop, that is not exactly what I wanted to see. Could get better. We have a couple of backdoors. Come on. We will check this behind if it checks to us, which it does. So just check behind and look at this. We have a flush draw. Still, yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna bet this one. If someone bets, I will call. I have position. I still can get some more money out of it. We are just about deep enough, so I am definitely going to call. Hopefully he won't raise now, because if he does, then we will have to fold. He does not, and we whiff. And once we whiff, and he bets half pot, there is not much for us to do than to fold. Okay, so now we are in almost shove territory very soon. 21 big blinds, 21 and a half. But so not quite. We can still min raise, but there is not a lot of room for maneuver. Let's put it this way. And 21 big blinds here on the right as well. So on both of these, we are getting quite thin now. Let's see if we can make something happen. Not with 10-3 off or king deuce off for sure. So on this $25 tournament, I will re-register if I bust out in the next 39 minutes. Probably, because it looks like there could be an overlay. Not sure yet, but we have 24 players and we need about 43, so still 19 players. I think that one might have a chance not to reach that, but I'm not entirely sure. And here on the other one, there's 54 players. That is already more than that. Okay, A7. I will have to fold because there is already a raise there. So yeah, if you play a lot of tournaments, looking for overlays is always very useful. Overlay means that there is a guarantee and there are not enough players in there to pay for the guarantee, which means that you're automatically making money, at least in theory, by playing that tournament. King 6 suited, I am going to raise this one. Obviously, if we get 3-bet or jammed on, that's an easy fold. And here on the left, 8-4, I can't do much. Here we get called. We have bottom pair, so I am going to go for a small bet. And here I'm going to call my ace-4 suited in a multi-way pot, checking here. Top left, I'm checking. On the right, this is really not a good card for my hand. And he makes it 3 big blinds, definitely having to fold now. So yeah, my limp strategy hasn't been amazing so far, has it? Here I'm gonna check, and he just jams this river now. And when he jams, I have to fold. I mean, yeah, I didn't filter it a lot, but there is a lot that he could have, and I just don't think he would jam there with a bluff. So I have to give it to him. And down to 16 big blinds. And the ace deuce off is a fold on the bottom left. Okay, 9-7 now. When we are okay, there's a raise. So this is a tricky stack to play now with 15 big blinds. Too much to shove, too small to just raise. But there's not much I can do. I am going to min raise my ace-8 off now. And the guy shoves on me. Ace-8 off is not good enough with this stack depth to call. On bottom left, I can raise 10-8 off. Not amazing, but on the button we can raise it. Going to range bet this board now. And we get a fold. That's excellent. Okay, so we're left with just under 11 big blinds now on the right in a $25 tournament. Not good, but we're not dead yet. Not dead yet. Still going, even though not much has been going for us in this tournament. The other one, at least, I had kings over jacks with a pre-flop all in. Then I did have kings again and jacks myself, where I lost, but at least I won a big pot. But here on the right, on the $25 one, I've just not had anything. Maybe I didn't play my best either, but definitely not been very lucky. And bad card run continues. 9-4 off, no thank you. Ace Jack is a nice one though. And in this turbo already I've dropped down to 31 big blinds. Okay, 7-6 suited in the big blind here on the right. There is a small raise. Here we've got a big raise. I think this is one where I can go all in. Here I'm gonna call. Here I'm just gonna shove my ace jack for 33. And both players fold, so that is nice. Okay, now we have picked up something, but I am still just going to check. So now I am kind of confident, although it's well possible that someone has a higher pair than mine. I don't think I can really get called by much worse, so I think it's better to check and potentially let him bluff, but he didn't do it, but still that's very good. We do win this one with our two pair. So that is fine. Queen 9 suited, this is another one that I will limp in here. Okay, here in the bottom I have to fold 10 deuce. Here I'm going to start with a check. And now I am going to go for a bet. And thankfully he folds. Then I would have considered jamming this river, because it makes it so unlikely that he has an 8 or a jack. But of course it depends what the river would have been. Okay, 14 big blinds. We are going to raise the pocket 8s and potentially probably call off a jam. Well, now we get called by the button, and yes, now so this guy jams. I think pocket 8s are good enough. He can do this with a lot of weaker pocket pairs and ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack, king, queen, all sorts of things. Well, he does it with pocket kings, but look, there's an 8. There is an 8. We are not dead yet. Yes, boys and girls. Yes, yes, yes. We are doubling up, and even slightly more than doubling up. 32 big blinds now. We can go. This is what you have to do in tournaments if you don't play well, or if you don't get good cards pre-flop. You just have to win your flips and win your situations where you're almost dead. So 40 players left in the one on the top left, 5 more minutes to late reg, and I have, ooh, the blinds must have gone up. I just had 32 big blinds, now I have 26, so not great, but I'm 17, so I'm still slightly better than the middle player. Queen 10 on the right, just folding. Yeah, so this is not the best time of day, of course, to play poker, play tournaments, but still, I think quite some good action here. Not bad. This was quite an early raise. If it had been a bit later, I would have considered shoving here. But against that position, I will call and then see. Okay, now we have picked up some showdown value, which is quite good. He bets one big blind. I am definitely calling this. When he bets so small, I don't love it, although now it's quite good. Now it's quite good. I am definitely going to bet this one now because he might be slow playing something there. I mean, if he has an ace, whatever, but yeah, look at that. We mucked, so that is very good. We lucked into that, so he might have had a king or a jack. Maybe he was just slow playing a jack there, and that's why I sized up a little. I could probably have gone even a bit bigger on the river. He snapped me off from my 2/3 bet there. This is a call pre. He makes it 3.5. Again, I've not had a single hand that I could actually check raise when I limp in the small blind. It's always hands that I can have to fold, or sometimes that I can call with, but never really check raise. Don't think King Deuce would have been a hand to check raise there. Okay, so here definitely folding. This would be one. Here I'm calling. King Jack. I am going to. This is. I'm going to shove this one. Okay, so here now we finally have the opportunity to check raise my King Queen. And here on the right, thankfully we're getting folds. And here we get a fold as well. That is good. It's good. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to limp raise pre-flop in the small blind. That means that now he will take my limps a bit more seriously. That's kind of like the old man coffee type of play. Okay, this is not a great board for me. I am going to range bet it because he still has a lot of stuff that just still doesn't connect very well here. For example, a hand like 5 deuce of spades, which we will have. He will have a 5 or anything else, but he does check raise, and when he check raises, it's fine. I had my attempt there, and I'm aware that I will get check raised quite a bit, but if I bet a quarter pot there and I have a chance of taking it down, that is definitely worth it. I haven't check raised much myself actually on the flop. This is something I should try to work on a bit. Ace King versus Pocket Fours, pre-flop all in, and the fours hold. I raise 8-7 suited. It's an awkward stack size for these suited connectors, but I think it's okay. Oh, here, this guy just open jams for 86 big blinds. I mean, it's not that much effective, I realize that, but still 53 effective. Oh, here we get 3 bet and 4 bet jammed on, so easy fold with my 8-7. Ace King versus tens. Okay, but look, my 7-8 of hearts would have been good here. Shame. That was an amazing flop there with a gut shot and a flush draw. Okay, it's suited. Definitely calling. And look at this flop. He bet small. I am definitely going to raise this one. Here I am going to raise this one. Here I am going to call. He jams. I call. And he has... Ooh, okay. We are out now, but we were in pretty good shape when... Well, no, we're not out, actually. We covered him, I see. Right here, we are going to go for a donk on this one. Here, continue checking. Not much I can do. Okay, the 4 is not great for me, but I am going to continue my donking tune. Although no, it's not a donk anymore, it's a bet, and we get it through. Right here, I mean, someone's likely to have an ace, so I am just gonna check. No, no an ace, but I still win. That is excellent, winning with queen high there. That is real good. Okay, I will fold my ace deuce off. So 7.5 big blinds left. Yeah, it was very unlucky, but we have two pair against the guy with the open ender and the flush draw, and the flush came in then, so that was very, very not good, but it's fine. Ace-6 off on both of these tables, and here we are now going to jam this one. It's not an amazing hand, obviously, but we have 7.4 big blinds left, so definitely worth a jam. We get folds all around. Not trying it again with Jack 10 now. We are in the hijack, so this is a fold. Okay, so here there isn't. We're on the top left. Oh, pocket threes. This is one where I will just go all in, I think. Or it's actually not an all-in spot. Sorry, I'm gonna fold. Okay, this is an amazing flop, so we're just gonna check jam. But he doesn't. Okay, so now I am going to check again and let him bet it. He doesn't go for it, so what I will do now is I will go all in with the nuts. Unfortunately, he seemed to have had absolutely nothing. Yeah, pocket threes there. What was a cuspy one? 10 big blinds, and in under the gun, I think it probably was a fold. So I think I made the right decision there. I'm not entirely sure, but I do think so. Okay, not gonna call an all in with queen high. Ace queen off, that's a nice one. There is a raise with ace queen off. I could probably call, but yeah, it's a type of hand where I could just jam or where I could call. Both are fine. I'm just gonna call this one. I might, incentivize someone to raise. Yep, that's what's happening. And now I can just jam. Obviously, I don't have any fold equity, but whatever he tried to squeeze with, yeah, see, ace deuce. So that is excellent news, and we win this one. Yes, we induced a squeeze there, and then he was priced in. He couldn't fold his ace deuce off. So that was a nice one to do there with my ace queen. That's good. World looking much better now. Look, we were lost all the time here. And now we are 5th out of 23 players with 17 minutes to go with late registration. So let's go, go, go. Ten eight suited. We got 6 now of big blinds, but with a raise here we have to fold. So I have to be careful not to overfold now. Just on autopilot. But obviously, if there is a raise and a shove, then I'm not gonna get involved with 10-8 suited. Ooh, queen nines versus ace jack. Look at that board! Set of queens, set of nines, and top pair. Crazy. Okay, 6 deuce will definitely be a fold, no matter what. Yeah, so the guy who squeezed here with the ace deuce when I had the ace queen, that's the danger, and that's why I always have to check stack sizes, because in theory you raise to 9, and that's fine. You only risk 8 big blinds because you got one in the middle anyway, and you're trying to steal it. And if you get called, then you can see bet. That's all fine. But the problem is when the shot's a short stack like me calls there, then what can happen is exactly that, that the short stack rejams. Okay, here we go with our pocket nines. And the short stack rejams, and then you're priced in, you have to call. And then all of a sudden, instead of risking 9, you're risking 16 or 17, and that's just unnecessary. He probably thought I was really weak to call there because the majority of players would just jam there with a good hand, not just flat call the 2 big blinds. Ace Jack suited. Okay, we're getting called by King 9. That's good news. Hold, hold, hold. Yes. That's great. We had 70% equity there. Okay, the all-ins have gone okay, except for the one. But can't complain. But yeah, I mean, it was small what I had there. Okay, here I can... I'm just gonna call again. And look at this flop. King 9, going to fold. Fold. Okay, he bets quite big here. Nothing else to do. I mean, he can't even have the ace of hearts, so I'm just going to call. If he checks, definitely going to bet. If he has a decent hand. Yeah, so this is it now. If he has a decent hand, he will still call even... maybe this is too much, but something like this. And if he doesn't have anything, he'll just fold anyway. But he does call, and this is not a good card because whilst we still have the nuts, I don't love this, but I'm still hoping that he can have something. So I'm just gonna shove here if he has the king of hearts. Don't expect to get called very often. Here I am going to fold it, unfortunately. Like, how small can I go there to extract value? Okay, here this guy shoves, and when he shoves there, I have. Oh, I folded here. I wanted to call. I was just gonna say I have to call there with bottom pair, but ah, this is it. I mean, I don't know what happened to my time bank. Don't really have much of a time bank. But look at this, I'm fourth now out of 24 players. So that at least is good news. Pocket deuces versus pocket tens. Okay, king 5 I can raise. Jack 8 I have to fold. This guy jams, and when he jams for this amount I am out. Yeah, sorry once again for my voice. I am trying my best, but my voice is not at its best. So let's see if we can reach the overlay here. So there shouldn't be more than 42 or 43 players, and currently there are 35. So we are getting there with 11 minutes to go. It definitely won't be a big overlay, that we can already say. Okay, and here the blinds are moving up and up and up, which is what always is the case in a turbo, obviously. So I will have to do some work to try to improve the layout of these tables and everything. Just I have to use some templates and maybe also integrate a webcam or so to make this a little bit more interesting. But at the moment it's just very raw, which I think is also fine. But I would like to make this look a little prettier for you guys. Okay, 7-6 off. Against this small raise, I definitely have to call. And now we have a gut shot. He bet small. I will call. I mean, it's tricky. Now I have second pair with just over 1 SPR there. He bets big. And the question is, do I want to call here? I do want to call here. The 7 is not great, but now I got myself into a pickle. It doesn't bet though. Okay, so we lose. Okay, call the min click here. He bets, and it's already quite close. And when he min clicks there, I am going to fold this one here. I am also going to fold. This was totally stupid to limp with 8-7 there. This was one of those situations where I really made a mistake. Okay, king 5. Now I will just jam this for 4.6, 5.6, sorry. Okay, here I can't. Oh yeah, check this. I will just call this, and here we are out. Fair enough. Would I like to re-enter? Okay, let's re-enter. Let's re-enter for $10. Sadly, on the top right, there is not a great flop for my ace queen of diamonds. I have a good chance of being good here if it checks through. Yep, I do win it. Excellent. And now pocket queens. Let's see, there is a raise, so this is definitely one where I will raise now, even though there is another raise, but we cover all of these players, so we are going to jam this one. Here we'll fold. Here I'm going to jam. And we get snapped off by ace king. That is okay, but unfortunately we lose it. Yep, that's what flips do, but we were lucky earlier, so that's okay. We were slightly ahead in that race and we lost. Here, not loving this one. With my pocket threes, it was a marginal open anyway. Get called. Now we can check. And here, this guy, we are going to jam this one for 7.5. He's still short enough. Calling this as a bluff catcher. I am going to call it. I don't have much time to think about. And he did have the queen there. Fair enough. King 8, I have to fold. I don't have much fold equity. But now we have pocket nines, which we can probably do something with. Okay, there's a limp there. I don't remember if I've seen him before, if I've seen him limp. Okay, there is an all-in now, but for 9 big blinds, I don't think I will have a much better choice. I need to spin it up now anyway, so there's no point in waiting, even though there is an all-in. I just have to call with my 9s, I think, for the 9 big blinds, but this is not good news. Now we got another caller, and his range should be quite strong. Yeah, well, okay, we have club. Yes, I think we win this one. Yeah, yes, we win it with the clubs. We win it. That's great against pocket jacks. So we were actually behind there, but again, I thought that he might shove any pair there and a lot of big cards, so I think that was fine. Now, raising queen jack, I realize this guy is going to got 4.4 big blinds, but that would be fine to call that off. Where are we? Here on the right, we have to fold. Okay, so if he jams, which he doesn't do, that is great news. And, well, now he jams, but that's fine. That's absolutely okay. We can just fold our queen high. Okay, ace jack is another one we can open. Here the king 3 is a jam. This is not great, but we're going to range bet. And he folds this time. That is also very good. Ace jack again. Okay, well, let's open it again then. Okay, I got min clicked, and this guy, I mean, okay, he's called. Let's call. I mean, I don't know, should I have jammed there? This guy makes it small, we can call, and he's basically all in anyway. We have an open ender. It's not a great card. Four I can do. That's getting almost 6-1. That is fine. But unfortunately, we whiff. So now that he jams, we have an easy fold. Yeah, Jack 8! Come on! What? I should have just jammed pre-flop. He has to fold Jack 8. I wouldn't have thought that he cold calls a 3-bet with Jack 8 offsuit. But anyway, that's what he did. So we are on a break now for 5 minutes. Please come back in 5 minutes and we'll see the conclusion of these tournaments. Thank you. Well, I just accidentally folded ace king there, so that will teach me a lesson to be late. I was just out there to drink something, and look at that mistake. I mean, that could mean my elimination of the tournament. So, yeah, really not great form, Andreas, but that is very annoying. Anyway, we have ace king on this other table, so we are just going to jam now. That's a nice thing when you have ace king in tournaments, you can just jam. In cash games, it's a very different type of thing. And we get folds, that's great. Could put all in with our 8 high. 7 deuce, no good. Okay, let's see. Ace 9 suited. There is a raise there, and there is a call, and there is a jam, which means that now we have to get out of the way with our ace 9 suited. King jack versus ace jack there, so we would have lost. Queen 3 off is not a hand I will do anything with, but pocket 9s, this we can jam for 7.6 big blinds. Here we have a limper, yeah, so he has limp before this guy. Jack 8, suited, is just tiny bit too... Oh. Okay, we get the applause for just winning the blind. What does this guy say in the chat here? If karma you would be deal, what's that? Just be happy about a rigged game. Okay. Right, now we can just jam King 10 suited over this limper. We have seen him limp before, so he can be quite weak, and so definitely a good spot to jam. 5-3 suited I'm not going to call a jam with. Oh, he does call this time. Yes, Queen Jack, that is fine. That's okay, and unfortunately we lose, and we are out, I think. Yes, finished the tournament in 20th place, sadly, but we were ahead in the all-in here, so I don't mind, that is all good, but sadly, no money for us on this one, but we still have 2 others, clinging on to dear life in both of them. But yeah, I think, I mean, other than accidentally folding twice because I timed out, I think I played well in the tournament, and when I got it all in there with my King 10 suited versus Queen Jack offsuit, I believe, that is a good situation to be in. That's like, what, 60-40 or so. So I'm okay with that. Getting better than even money for 60-40 shot. I would take that all day, any day. Unfortunately, didn't quite run out the way I had hoped. But we're still far away from the money, so that's all fine. Right, I'm gonna open the information for this one now. So I'm 18th out of 24 with 5 places getting paid so far. Post the later edge ends very soon here. Queen 9, we're just going to fold in the cutoff. And Jack 10 off, well, fold to a shove. Right, let me see here what the situation is. So 400, we need 40 players, and we almost got them, so there is not much of an overlay in this tournament. So I'm not going to start a new tournament now. I'm going to finish these two, and if we have some time, I might play some cash once they're done. But we'll see. But it's fun. I've definitely enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to do some more cash as well in the near future. Sorry, not cash anyway, but some more tournament streams. And pocket sixes is, I think, for 7.6 big blinds, even under the gun. That must be a shove now, because I'll be big blind in the next hand, and then there's no point in waiting. And yes, if someone calls me with a better pair, I will not be in great shape, but someone might call me with ace queen or so. I would take that to have another race. Let's see what Enrico Palazzo calls me with. He calls me with queen 10 suited. Oh, that's great. Hold, and we hold. Yes! I mean, that is crazy that he called there with queen 10 suited, but great for me. I have seen bigger mistakes, but that definitely qualifies as quite a whopper, I would say, especially on the button. Like the worst mistake in the tournament that I've ever seen, and I benefited from it, was like on a stone cold bubble. One player had to bust. I had about 2 big blinds left, and I was under the gun. So in the next hand, the very next hand, I would have had to pay not only the big blind, but also the big blind ante. So I would have been all in basically in the next hand and about to bust. And there weren't any real short stacks apart from me. So the next one was like 15, 20 big blinds or so. And then in that hand, the small blind shoved, and the big blind snap called pocket sixes, and the small blind covered him, and the small blind just had some trash hand there, like queen 8 off or so, whatever. But he managed to win that hand somehow, and the guy with pocket sixes just busted there, and I was in the money. So I lost in the very next hand, where I was still all in on the big blind, but I didn't care. I was over the moon. And it was quite a big tournament. It was for about £800. So what's that? Like over $1,000 buy-in. That was like really good money that I made there just by another guy making a massive blunder. So I think that was probably one of the biggest blunders that I've ever seen in poker. Here, King Jack suited, I would have loved to play it, but not after a raise, a call, and a 3-bet squeeze. Aces versus King Queen. Oh, this Enrico guy had a couple of unlucky all-ins. Jack 10 off. We're a bit too early to shove this, and with this awkward stack size of 13.5 big blinds, don't really want to race to min race. Jack 10 off. Oh, well, this flop wouldn't have been too bad for Jack 10 off. Move to a new table on the left. Still just under 9 big blinds. Queen 8 off, easy fold. Just want to check if that player who I thought was pretty good earlier is still in, or if he has busted. Looks like he is not in anymore. He was the chip leader, but see, this is how it goes sometimes. So I can't tell if he's still in, but I can't see him. Okay, Queen 4 suited. And there is a small raise. I have to call with this then. Bottom pair is pretty good. I'm wondering whether I should dunk this one. I think I am going to dunk it. That's a pretty good turn card. I can check this and then either check hole or jam the river. We're so short it doesn't matter. And with 2 pair, I'm obviously never folding, whatever happens. Okay, the ace, I don't know, could be good, could be bad. Definitely gonna shove. Maybe he has ace jack, ace 10, ace 9, ace 8, any of those would be good. Here on the left we have ace queen off, so definitely shoving this one, and unfortunately he folded on the right table. Now the jack 3 off is not a great hand. That one will just go into the muck. I'm not going to try to even limp it. Win with ace queen. Oh look, we would have flopped top pair. Ooh, this is tricky now. King 9 suited in the hijack with 11 big blinds. Okay, this makes it easier. On the button, 10 deuce suited. I'm just gonna fold. This is probably quite close. Slightly better hand I would certainly have opened. Okay, queen jack, low jack, queen jack, low jack. Yeah, no, not good. Queen jack, low jack, hijack. Okay, a7. Now we're a bit too far from the button in the hijack, and there is a raise under the gun anyway, so I'm happy. I was, yeah, hijack, and he was low jack slash under the gun. Ace-8 off, once again, too early position, like cut off, I would have jammed it, hijack, probably already not, and under the gun, definitely not. 4-3 off, definitely not. So I'm 14th out of 17 remaining, and 25th out of 25 remaining. So, yeah. Okay, there is a min click. This is definitely a call if the small blind goes out of the way, but he jams, so We have an easy fold. Now queen 10, he just shoves, and against a shove I am not going to call queen 10. It's close, I think, but it's not close enough. Okay, queen jack suited, this is a shove though for 8 big blinds. And we just get the money. We have exactly 10 big blinds. Well, not anymore. We just had to pay our big blind. And here on the button with 9-3 suited, I can go for a jam, hoping to get folds from both blinds. I mean, he does cover me, but only just, and unfortunately he calls with ace queen. Okay, well, that's the type of hand that I would have expected him to call with, but we win again with 9-3. Yes. So I don't know, was this too optimistic? Earlier I didn't raise 10 deuce suited because I said it wasn't good enough. Now I raised 9-3 suited on the button. It was just that both players were short, and yes, I would always expect ace queen to call me, but even against that hand I have okay-ish equity. It's not like absolutely terrible, and yeah, I just think that it's still fine to raise there, to shove there, because they will have to call it off quite tight. So what range would I expect them to call with? Pretty much any pocket pair and any ace 10 plus, and possibly even lower. I mean, they should definitely, for that sort of money, they should call with any ace there. And then maybe some king queen, king jack, maybe even king 10, possibly queen jack suited. Although I'm not sure if they would even do that, so I think I have a chance of them overfolding. And because of that, I think 9-3 suited on the button becomes a jam there. And the poor guy, now he lost again. And we can raise ace-9 suited now. And here on the right we get a walk. That is very valuable at this stage. And now pocket queens. Let's go. Right, we do have a pretty good hand here. On the left, I am definitely gonna start with a range bet. And if we get jammed on, that's an easy call, I think. But first I want to concentrate on this one. Go all in with my queens. The queens is not a hand that I would want to cold call here. With aces I would have cold called. But let's see. Okay. Big blind folded. Now it's on this side. Let's fold though. I would have preferred him to call with a weak hand. Okay, we're on the button, 16 big blinds. That's a bit of a tricky one. Think I might jam this if it folds round to me. Yeah, I'll jam this. Because it's still half of this guy's stack and he has to play for his entire stack. So that is good. Okay, 7-8 suited. Now is the time to press the brakes a little bit. Folding. Okay, so looking a bit better now. We're 9 out of 14 here, with 6 places getting paid. So still far from the money. And here 10 out of 21, with 7 places getting paid. So here we're even further from the money. But we're definitely entering the exciting phase of these tournaments. Right, Jack 9 suited against a 7.5x all in. That means we will have to fold. Would have called if it had been a traditional raise size. 6-3 off. Well, definitely not considering calling with it, but the question is if it folds around to me whether I jam this against this short stack or not. I mean, I think it's kind of just a little bit too weak, so I think I will have to fold it. If it were suited or a little more connected, like 6-5 or so, maybe I would consider it more, but here in this case, just fold it. I mean, I had to fold anyway because there was a raise, so not really an issue. 10-7, not considering doing anything. Nine, 4, not exactly better. Jack 8 also folds under the gun. Okay, Ace 5 suited. This can be a raise. Again, it's this awkward stack size. 17 big blinds where I definitely don't want to jam, but it's not great to raise and then get 3-bet, but no such thing. We're just getting the blinds. Okay, folding now. 7-5 suited will be good enough for a shove here if it folds to me. But it doesn't, so then it's an easy fold. So on the left one, there are still 21 players left. It's been the case for quite a while now. No one busting. Okay, all in from under the gun. Easy fold. A6, weak hand. This is another one of those that will just min click with this awkward stack size of 14.37 big blinds. If we get raised, we'll have to fold. And on the left, King 6 suited. This is a jamming hand if it folds to me. Come on, this player now holding us up on both tables. He's probably playing like a million tables. Come on. Yeah, I don't understand how they get so much time bank time when I keep timing out, but I must have used them without used my seconds without even noticing it. Yeah, look at this countdown just started again at 30 seconds, I think. So, I don't know what's going on there, but I would say please fold. Well, here at least he did fold. And this guy does jam on us. Right here we have to fold. And when he jams on us, with a6 off is just not good enough. Yes, he might be doing this quite light. I don't know. I don't know him. He is the big stack. Might be just be aggressive. But this is just not good enough to raise. To call that jam, I mean, sorry. Right, here we have a raise to 5.3, but with ace-8 suited on the button is not that amazing. I have to fold this one. In the big blind I would have called, because in the big blind already I would have had one big blind in there, and there would not be anyone behind me to act. But here on the button, when I have two players behind me, I don't want to call, and then maybe one of them might even jam or also call, and that's not very advantageous. 9 deuce off, definitely a fold in the big blind, even though we know that this guy is probably a bit on the aggressive side. Okay, jack 8 off now with only 11 big blinds when he has 24. That's not great, and now the big stack is just rolling over us here. So had I known this a bit earlier, and maybe I would have called with my ace-6 off a few minutes ago, but at that point I hadn't really known that yet. Right, he does it again, and I would like to set an example, but when you only have 10 big blinds left, there is not that much fold equity that you have when you jam there. So there is not that much I can do except fold, and I have to let him just boss us, push us around, bully us. He is by far the chip leader, not only of this table, but this whole tournament. King 10 suited, this is a hand that Now, it's not good enough to just raise small and then call it off, because I actually prefer to get folds all around, and look at that, now we are dead against ace-jack, so GG, this was it on this table. Finishing 9th out of 42, well, respectable, but not what I wanted, and this time, unfortunately, we got caught there, but I think King 10 is a shove in that spot there, and that's okay. But the big blind who probably pushed us around with all sorts of nonsense just happened to wake up with a hand when I had King 10 suited. Not much I can do, so this last one left here, at least we can make it real big now. And concentrate on it. And as I said, we might play a little bit of cash after that. Oops, sorry. If we bust out soon here, then I will play some cash. Here I just want to get rid of this one where we finished. And oops, sorry. Here we have this one where I am 11th and still 21 players in the mix. That is incredible. Yeah, against the race. I will fold Jack 7 off. Okay, now there are a lot of short stacks around me. 12 players. 12 out of 21. Yeah, it is unbelievable that for about at least 10 minutes now, there has not been a player eliminated. Okay, not much we can do here. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you enjoy these tournament streams, because then I'm definitely going to do more. I will do more anyway, but if you really enjoy them, I might do even more. Or let me know if you prefer the cash games, because that is in theory my bread and butter. But if you enjoy tournaments, I will do more tournaments as well. Okay, not many playable hands at this stage, but that's okay. Come on again, this tilt house player. Just trying to tilt us. No, I'm sure he doesn't do it on purpose, but it takes a long time. Yeah, much ado about nothing. Okay, blinds going up again, but we are not the shortest. We are still, we're 13th out of 20. Oh, someone busted. Okay, this is too early to jam Jack 9 suited, I believe. We want bigger cards to jam at this point. But we do need to win another all-in. Let's see, ace-3 versus queen-deuce. And ace-3 wins. Not sure if queen-deuce is really a call there. Okay, pocket jacks is a hand that we definitely can raise. And because we only got 10 big blinds, I am going to shove it. And now it would be nice to get called by a hand like ace-jack, or ideally a hand like jack-10. Come on, Donna Maria. Well, I'm happy if everyone folds as well. That's still a result at this level. King 10 is an okay call. And we hold. And Donna Maria is out. Well, that is good for us. 17.5 big blinds. And this is how we can continue. We are still 14th now, though. But there are only 19 left and 7 paid. So still very far from the paid places. So we definitely need to win a few more pots if we want to get into the money. Ooh, this is exciting, and the 6 takes it. No, sorry, there's a jack. 6 does not take it. And Killer Mix is almost out as well. Right, if he shoves now, and if everyone else folds, then we'll have an exciting all-in for about 2 big blinds. And I'll even get some money back. Come on, fold, yes. We got it. Oh, we're even ahead, look at that. Come on, an 8. Oh, the jack is good too, yes. And we eliminate the player. Oh, that's good news. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything once there is a raise. Okay, we're 8 out of 15. Okay, so now players seem to be going out a bit more. So this table, well, 3 deuce, thank you. This is the one hand I have to snap fold. We have 18 big blinds. There's one guy with 20, and then it's us, and then 14, 12, and 7. So at this stage of a tournament, it's super important to always look at the stack sizes. That is crucial to know. When you cover someone, when someone covers you, what risks you're willing to take, what risks you have to take. So ideally, I would like to avoid the big stack, but he is just to my left, so that is not good. But look at this. Okay, ace 5. This is a hand that I will raise because I am the second biggest stack, and the biggest stack is still right behind me. And okay, we'll take it down. If he had jammed now, I would have had to call. I would have been priced in with my ace 5, but I knew that from the start, so that was fine. Okay, there is a raise from the big stack, but we're not on the bubble. So what is it? I'm 7 out of 15. So if the small blind folds, I will call, but he raises, so that makes my life easier. So someone asked me, Coinpoker better than Poker Stars? Yes and no. It depends really what you want. So what I will say is that, ooh, this is unlucky for poker tens. So Coinpoker has softer player pools, like both in cash games and I think on many tournaments as well. So that, in that regard, yes, it is softer, and that's why it is better. Now, Poker Stars has a few like better things, like they have more availability of games, and I just prefer the graphics there, if I'm honest. But overall, I definitely think Coinpoker is a better package. It's where I prefer to play these days. And I made a video about like a PokerStars review. It's on Card Player, so if you search YouTube for Card Player, and then it's one of the most just like the most current videos. There is a review of PokerStars, and we're going to probably release one about Coinpoker next week, so you can check both of those out, and that would give you more in-depth knowledge about what I think about both of those. But yes, if I were pressed for an answer, I would say yes. It is slightly better. I would prefer to play on Coinpoker than on PokerStars. And especially if you don't have an account with Coinpoker, which I assume if you don't, if you asked me such a question, then with a 150% bonus up to $2,000, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Like you can even be a bad player and still. Oh, this is a tricky one. I am gonna fold it now. Yeah, this is a tricky one Was a very tricky one to play with this stack size. Yes, so it's a no-brainer. I think if even if you're a bad player, you would have to lose quite a bit to actually lose something if you get such a bonus, if that makes sense. So I would definitely recommend you try it out. There is not much you can lose there. And as I said, with a link in the description below, just click on that one, open an account, and deposit something. And yeah, so if you deposit $10, you will get 35. No, how much is it? 25, sorry, $25 to play there. So you put in 10, you get 25. You put in 100, you get 250. You put in 1,000, you get 2,500, and so on. So at least this is how I understand it. And yeah, so that's why I think it definitely makes sense to try that out. So as I said, the link is in the description below. Okay, so now we are getting rid of players. I'm 10th out of 12. Still, yeah, 7 places paid, so we are getting closer, but still under the 5 players. And by the way, I'm not looking to just min cash here. That's not my aim for this tournament or for anything. But obviously, I try to play well to cash when we get to the bubble. But I'm not going to try to do everything to limp into the money. So if a good spot comes up where I have to take risks, I will take risks. Maybe not on the stone cold bubble, but we'll see. Queen 5 off, however, is not the hand that I would like to get frisky with. King 10 suited, this is a nice one, but let's see what happens here. So now we are the shortest stack at the table after we're just the second biggest. Okay, is there merit in shoving? I don't think so. With King 10 suited, I prefer to call. And this is a great one. Do I want to open shove this one and get him to fold something? I think I want to do that just because I can get him to fold an ace high now, and even anything like, even if it's queen 9 of spades, would be a good one at this stage, because I want to preserve my stack. And now pocket deuces, this is an awkward one again, but I'm just gonna shove it. Like, he will fold a lot. And yeah, when I had that flush draw there with king 10 on jack jack 5 or whatever it was with 2 clubs, I think I prefer that, like, over him calling or whatever. I do not want that. And yes, I have a lot of equity, but I could still lose. And if I get called there, even if he has a jack, I still have decent equity. Right, so now we're getting 3-bet by this guy, fairly small. 10-9 is not exactly the kind of hand I want to call here with. So we got caught stealing, but that's fine. It's still worth it, because if you see, there's over 2 big blinds in the pot, and I only risk 2 to win 2.17, so just as an auto profit, if they fold 50% of the time, then that is already auto profit. So guys, if you're enjoying this, please click the like button, as that will definitely help me. as then YouTube knows that you guys like this content, and then they'll push it out to other people, and then I can make better content if more people watch. So thank you for that. So let's see. 10 players left. We are lost. 7 get paid. Oh, what is going on here? No, I don't want this to happen. Oh, that was quite a cooler here. A straight versus a flush. Okay, there is a min raise. We will call if Bruno folds, which it does. So let's call. And this will be a check fold. We had a couple of backdoors, but when you're so short stacked, then backdoors are not super helpful. Queen 9 will have to fold now that there is a raise. A king 5 off, this will be my all-in hand at this point. It's not amazing, but we are on the button, and especially the big blind will be quite crippled if he calls and loses, and the small blind still has to worry about the big blind behind him, so he will only the big hand. So that's why we can get away with shoving a slightly wider range there. And similar now with this one, yes, we have 3 players to get through, but we also have a better hand now, King Jack suited. If we get called even my hand like Ace Queen or Ace 10, we're not doing terribly. And we get this one to take it down as well. That is good, and now we have to slow down. We're still lost though, out of 10 players, although no, now we are 9th out of 10. Not that it matters that much, the exact positioning, but I always, when we approach the bubble, I want to see where we stand. We have a very similar stack to the small blind. Okay, there is a min raise on the button. We have 10-8 off. It's not amazing, but we're getting better than 4-1. We have to be good 20% of the time, even though we're out of position. So this is a call. Unfortunately, when this flop comes, this is an easy fold. Yeah, this would have been a tricky one to play. I'm glad I don't have to make that decision with Jack 8 off. Ace 9 versus Ace 6. Ace 9 wins it. this time I'm folding Jack 3, so the King 5 earlier was fine. Now I don't want to risk it with this hand. Okay. 8-5 is a fold. So, still 10 players left. We are lost. And the blinds are going up. Not good news when you're a short stack. Jack 9 suited. No. We basically need to double up here. That is what we need to do. Okay, ace 10 off. This could be the hand. I think it probably will be. Yeah, I think I have to call this now, even though we're approaching the bubble, but I am 9th out of 9. 7 places paid. Okay, let me just quickly check. Yeah, there is another guy there, but I think I have to call this one. This might be an ICM mistake. And up against pocket sixes, we are probably out now. Yep, that's it. So maybe this was an ICM mistake. I will have to look this one up. I finished 9th, and if we look by, I didn't really have a lot of time to think about it because there was one other player that was short stacked, but and then the next one still had a few big blinds more than me, and I mean, I could have tried to sneak into the money, but I think it was okay the way I played this one. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon when we play some more tournaments or cash games for that matter. Thank you.